Those of you born under Cancer have several difficult planetary configurations to contend with over the next couple of years, including an X-cross and several T-crosses. One in particular is explosive, but we'll provide you with the keys for dealing with each of these situations. Here then are the top 3 problems you'll face in the next 2 years, starting with number 3. At number 3, Pluto square Uranus square Venus in Cancer in August 2012. Pluto and Venus are 180 degrees apart, what's called an opposition aspect, with Uranus in between them as the focal point, 90 degrees from each. This tense and dynamic planetary formation is called a T-cross. Uranus represents sudden changes, and Pluto signifies deep transformations, so you can expect an implosion in your love life or in your personal value system because of the Venus implication. Expect painful upheavals from the past to surface, forcing you to relive them. Most people that go through this event unprepared will suffer, but you have to see the deep transformative forces at work here that can change you from a moth to a butterfly. This may not be an easy time for you or your partner, but if you can remain open to the tough love that Pluto has to offer, your relationship or your sense of self-value will wind up the better for it. At number 2, Pluto square Uranus square Mercury in Cancer square Saturn in June 2011. This formation is called an X-cross. 4 planets are evenly spaced at 90 degrees apart around the 360 degrees of the zodiacal circle. Unlike the T-cross, the X-cross has no focal point. Because of this, the tensions of the X-cross are rapidly diffused and don't build up around a central point. The sparks fly continually, but most of them cause minimal damage because the heat isn't allowed to build. That is, in general. But in this particular X-cross, the square aspect between Pluto and Uranus can be explosive. Expect a lot of arguments, some of them heated. Also, you might see a lot of chickens running around with their heads cut off. Don't be one of them, because you may catch yourself working extra hard but running in circles. And since Mercury is in Cancer, your mind will probably be affected the most. Try to relax and focus your energies on one thing at a time, or at least until a bigger problem comes up in 5 minutes. Because they will. Saturn, Uranus, and Pluto aren't the most pleasant planets for Mercury to contend with, so you'll probably have to deal with some uncomfortable situations. As a Cancer sign, you have a superior emotional intelligence, and now's a good time to show it. You'll be appreciated for it. At number 1, Pluto square Uranus square Mars in Cancer in August 2011. What do you get when you mix dynamite, uranium, and plutonium? I don't really know the answer, but I do know that it isn't good if it catches you unprepared. And to add even more intensity to this recipe, let's throw in a couple of square aspects and an opposition aspect to form a T-cross, a very dangerous mix. Contacts of Mars with Pluto are often violent, and they often involve repressed rage or buried dark secrets. When Pluto rises from the underworld, he can bring the worst aspects of a person with him. With Uranus acting as a focal point to the Mars-Pluto opposition, don't be surprised if shocking revelations from the past suddenly surface. These revelations might pertain to buried intimate secrets, some of them possibly involving violence. If it turns out that you are Pluto's target, be prepared to face some serious music. Whether it ultimately turns out that you're the target or a bystander, you should plan to walk softly during this transit. Try to keep calm so that you can deal with whatever problem might arise. Refrain from speaking too much unless you think hard before talking. If it turns out you're a bystander, don't hesitate to step in if you need to, because the situation will more than likely escalate rapidly. Uranus, the trigger finger in this transit, is never slow to act, especially when it's in Aries. Don't take sides and encourage dialogue. Well, my friend, we've covered 3 major things you must watch for in 2011 and 2012. There is more, though. Recently, based on new revelations of the ancient astrology books, we discovered some very, very interesting and surprising astrological events that will impact our finances, career, and love life in 2011 and 2012. We summarized and interpreted these events for you, and in the next video, you will learn the top 7 dangers to your finances, career, and love life in 2011 and 2012, and how to turn them to your advantage. Fill in the form below right now to watch the 7 top dangers to your finances, career, and love life in 2011 and 2012, uniquely tailored to your horoscope sign. I'll see you inside.